Check, check, check. Everybody, let's say a prayer before we get started. Thank you so much, Father, for today. Thank you for all that you do, for keeping us safe, for protecting us from where we can see and the ones we cannot even see. Thank you so much for the team, for the show, for those guests here today, and people at home watching. It's all in Jesus' name we pray. We give the show back to you in Jesus' name again. Amen. We are live, people with microphones in the back. Oh, loud. First action. Thank you so much, brother. All right, y'all, let's do this. Come on, get about your seat and give me some energy, because it's time to start the Sandra Show. Oh, yeah.
Yes, hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous Thursday on the Sandra Show. As we inch closer to the weekend, we're here to brighten your day with uplifting stories and inspiring conversations. Today, we have a special treat in store as we dive into a theme that resonates deeply with many of us: resilience in the face of adversity. On today's show, we'll explore the power of resilience and how it shapes our lives in remarkable ways. From overcoming personal struggles to bouncing back from life's curveballs, our guests will share their stories of triumph and perseverance. But before we dive into it, y'all make some noise for my band. We share the band, y'all. It's for the culture, our band. Hey! On drums, we have Mr. Jonathan Parks. On guitar, Mr. Luke Darabont. Our music director, Mr. Christopher Baptiste. Right here, guys. Yes, Men in Black. How y'all doing?
Doing
Come
good.
on.
How you doing?
Yes, I'm fantastic. You know what day it is?
It's Friday Junior.
It's Friday Junior. Y'all remember? It's Friday
I
Junior.
like
I
that.
love it. I love it. Well, listen, our guest journey embodies resilience, faith, and the transformative power of artistic expression. Despite facing adversity growing up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, he excelled academically and pursued his dreams at Duke University, y'all.
All right.
However, his success was accompanied by struggles with depression and anxiety, leading to suicidal thoughts. But through prayer and poetry, he found solace and strength. His story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is hope and a reason to press on. Y'all, please welcome out to the lavender couch, Keith Edward Sowell. Yes! Come on now. Keith! Yes! Come on. Yes! Welcome to the show. On this hat. Thank you. All right? Please have a seat. Come on, Keith Sowell from Duke University.
From the Duke, yes.
The
yes,
Duke.
ma'am. Yes,
wow,
ma'am.
that's amazing. That's a huge accomplishment all within itself. And with all of that success academically, you still found yourself in a very interesting space.
Yes, most definitely.
So can you please describe the specific events or triggers in 2019 that contributed to your first experience with depression and anxiety?
So back in 2018, I got to live out one of my dreams of being on CBS Survivor.
Get out!
Yes.
You are adventurous.
I always told people growing up, I'm gonna go on there one day, and they're like, "You don't camp, you don't like outside, like how's that gonna work?" But by the grace of God, it was able to happen, and it
amazing.
wasn't until. Because it wasn't the experience itself. Actually, after the experience, I had my best academic year at Duke. I had straight A's.
At Duke University,
at Duke.
straight A's, y'all.
Not
Come
easy.
on.
Hey, man.
That is not easy.
Not easy.
Wow.
It was after the airing of the experience that a lot of shame, guilt, and such came with, people dying in the family at that time with the tough classes and such, and hearing all that, I would feel heavier. And I was like, what is this? I don't know what's happening. And I was afraid to call it out. It was, as you kind of said, it was depression and anxiety. And so I definitely believe that course of actions is what led to the onset.
That's so interesting that you're like living your best life, living the dream that so many people would love to have, and yet you find yourself going through anxiety and depression. How did your experience on CBS Survivor season 38 impact your mental health, both during filming and after? We talked about, you know, just going on there, and then afterwards you're feeling this kind of down feeling. Give us a little bit more. Elaborate.
So growing up, my grandma kind of instilled me in faith and going to church and being a worship leader and such. So it wasn't necessarily even during the experience. I was always calling on God all throughout that. There's one moment that I'm literally just doing it repeat.
Literally calling.
Come on, God. Come on, God.
Yes.
And so it wasn't even, I was able to push through all of that. And you surprise yourself in those moments when you don't have anything, just how far you can go.
Wow.
And I did learn a lot about myself on the show. It was the airing of it, and you know, people can take your experience and receive it in different ways. It was losing close friends at the time. It was left and right,
Just so
and it was that culmination of everything, and me not feeling so much shame of even talking about it. You know, I feel like a lot of our problems stem from us hiding it, because if we hide it, it's not real.
Right, because people look at it as a weakness when it's the opposite of that.
Exactly.
When you can share how you truly feel, I think you help other people. It shows them that they're not alone, and it also opens you up to finding avenues to get to the right place. Don't you think so?
1000%.
Now, you also said that you was a worship leader. So does that mean you sang?
Yeah.
You better stop it!
Yes. Look. Yep, at my home church. I've been a worship leader since the age of, I want to say 19 or 20.
Are you serious? Oh my goodness. So you know you're going to have to sing a little bit for me after we finish doing all this.
Oh, Lord.
Think about a little song you're going to sing.
Okay.
So come on, would you please pinpoint the specific emotions or thoughts you were experiencing leading up to the onset of the suicidal thoughts in 2019?
You know, you never, at least with my experience, I can never recall the day of the onset, but I can recall the day of the first breakthrough. And throughout that process, it was just feeling heavier. It was going to sleep later. It was missing classes. It was thinking, okay, maybe if I get more sleep, it'll go away. Wow. And then when that doesn't work, okay, maybe it's just I need to pray more and pray harder. And then when that didn't work, it was just like, what is happening? And it wasn't until that would go on for months at a time. And there was one day I still remember going. This was during finals week, and you know everything's hectic with finals coming into play. And I was going with friends to study, and I was on a bridge, and I felt a calling. It was like, call this person, one of my close friends. And I was okay. I'll try to give them a call. If they don't answer, I'm gonna leave it alone. They answer, and I broke down. I broke down instantly. Next day, they sat with me, and it really helps so much being able to vocalize and to feel no shame. And I can say in that instance, that was the first breakthrough moment for me, is being able to vocalize that and feeling no shame.
Well, thank God your friend answered the phone.
For real.
My goodness. My goodness. So did the pressure to break generational curses and accomplish big dreams affect your mental well-being? You sound like a very high achiever.
It's so... Growing up, I had so many dreams and aspirations and such, right? And my parents...
And you achieved almost all of them before 20. My goodness. Okay.
My parents, like, they definitely... I'm the youngest of four. And so by my point, they're like, no, you're focusing on school. You're not doing nothing. You doing this, this.
Right.
And having all those dreams and such, I could always say I always could visualize and see the manifestation of it that God would give me, right?
Wow. But
it was during, I can say it was during that depression, it got to a moment where I genuinely couldn't see anything. I couldn't see the next day. It was just black. Wow. And every day felt like it could be the last day, and I actually prayed for it to be. And those thoughts of like, God, I don't want to go out and sin, so take me, go ahead and welcome me, like let it go ahead and end, right?
Wow.
And that's what made it so challenging, like not knowing about it, not knowing what it felt like. You know, nobody talked about it really.
Right,
Like, you know what I mean? Growing up,
It's
growing
the
up.
big taboo. Like,
Exactly.
no.
Quiet, right?
Keep
Don't
it
cry.
under the rug. Don't, yes, yes.
Yep, exactly.
Big girls don't cry and
Yep.
men don't cry either. It's like,
Exactly.
come on. So how do we deal with this? Even Jesus.
Right. Even Jesus, what? Men, big women, are such, they cry. It's just that they don't talk about it. It's in secret. And so then no one else feels like, well, if they're not talking about it, then why should I, right?
Right. Exactly.
And issues love isolation.
Issues love,
They love
isolation. That's deep.
They love
That's
isolation.
powerful, all in itself. So how has being a spoken word poet and performer impact your mental health?
So I started
Positively.
yeah.
Yes.
I started poetry my senior year in high school. I was never really even involved with poetry before then, but some underclassmen started a club at my high school, and I always did speech and debate growing through middle school, and I was like, let's just try this out. And it started out as a hobby, and it became a rock. It became so much more like a life-saving passion because it was with talking to that friend, it was with prayer, and with writing a poem that breakthrough happened over me. That's the one time in my life I can say that I heard the chain break. And so it's been a rock for me. Poetry has been a spoken word. It's all been such a rock. My main mode of expression. You know what I mean? When I can't talk things out, I can write it.
Yes, that's how I feel about singing.
Yep.
Everything I can't say when I'm talking, just give me a song.
Yep.
Child. I'll
Yes.
sing it to you.
All day, any day.
Listen, my mama used to say, "Sing me happy."
I love that.
Sing me happy.
Look.
Yes. So looking forward, what strategies do you have in place to continue managing your mental health while pursuing your passion for spoken word and performance?
I feel like it's important also with our passions and talents and such to not exploit ourselves.
Yes.
And so while it's been such a healing and therapeutic response to write the poetry and to perform it and such, self-care is important. And that means writing poems for me that don't necessarily have to be shared.
Correct.
That means
I love that.
That means talking to people when things get hard.
Yes.
My family loves to say, like, you don't gotta struggle by yourself. You don't gotta always figure it out all on your own, right?
Right. Don't.
And that can be a challenge in itself. You know, being a driven person, I got to do this, got to do that, got to do this.
Yes.
We don't always got to carry the weight on ourselves. So
That's right. Do you keep telling yourself that?
I do. I try to.
You have to.
Yep.
I do the same thing. You don't have to do it all.
You don't gotta do it all.
You got help.
Yep.
Delegate. Do this. I love
1000%.
it. It's been such a pleasure sitting here speaking with you. We wish you continued success, and we hope to see you back again soon. And you're going to perform for us later, right?
I am. I have a gift for you.
You got a gift too?
I do have a gift for you.
I love it.
So with the poetry, I've been able to start my brand with the book, phone wallets, and shirts as well.
Yay, I love it. Y'all check this shirt out. We'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Mr. King, go well. It's in the house. Sandra Show. Our next guest story is both inspiring and deeply personal, rooted in tragedy yet blossoming into profound purpose. After the devastating loss of her father to gun violence, she channeled her grief into action, establishing a scholarship foundation in his honor. Y'all, please welcome to the Lavender Couch, Miss Khadijah Butler. Khadijah. Hey, beautiful. Thank you. Oh, yes. If they ain't got no shoe cam, I'm gonna scream. Look at these big shoes. I love them. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
You don't look like what you've been through.
Ain't
God good?
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So if you would please share more about the personal journey and emotions that led you to establish the Craig D., I want to say Mr. Craig D. Butler Scholarship Foundation after the tragic loss of your father.
I think it's interesting because you never know when grief is supposed to stop.
Right.
And so there was just something in me that said if I was going to start something, I really wanted it to be meaningful. And so the book and the scholarships, all these things kind of came out of God and purpose because I was not expecting to do any of it. I'm like, a nonprofit? No, not a book. None of that. So I just followed what was within, and I feel like a lot of it is him just within me.
That's beautiful. Such a great purpose
Yes.
to do what you're doing. Your book, Laying the Foundation, Brick by Brick, seems like a very valuable resource for those inspired to start their own scholarship foundations. Could you delve into some key insights or advice you offer in your book?
Well, the biggest thing is it's the only book of its kind on the market.
Wow.
It was so many things that I couldn't find when I was starting my scholarship foundation. And the biggest thing, well, on top of that was how to run a scholarship foundation, what type of nonprofit I wanted to actually start. But I think the other part is it was also a healing tool. Like there would be moments when I'm writing it and I knew that it could be a source of survival for someone else. So some of the biggest takeaways are just some of the things that I've done wrong, like not hiring a lawyer at the beginning when I actually started the nonprofit.
So important, yes.
So it's just knowing also when to reach out to the colleges. Like there's a load of information in there.
That's amazing. I
Good and
don't
bad.
think there's any book out there like that because I know when my father passed away, we wanted to do a foundation scholarship for him as well for students. And it was just like, where's the information for this? So this is so awesome. It will be helpful to so many people. So being the only Black-owned, women-owned scholarship foundation in Philadelphia is absolutely remarkable. Congratulations. How do you believe this unique perspective shapes the support and opportunities you provide for students?
I mean, I really feel like I give them wings. Like them seeing someone that looks like them affirms them that they can do what they do. And it's like I'll always say I brag different because like the way that these scholars show up, you're talking about 3.9 GPAs.
Wow.
Our last scholar got $1 million in scholarships.
Are you serious?
Yes. So it's like you think that it's not.
I'm going back to school. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. That's amazing.
You just think it's not possible, but it's important for me to shine that light.
Yes.
And everything bad happens in Philadelphia, and I just want to change that narrative.
Thank you for that.
Thank
Because
you.
we do know that there are good things in Philly.
Yes.
We love Philly. And y'all got Jilly from Philly too. So come on. So would you please elaborate on how your foundation's work specifically addresses the challenges faced by African-American college-bound seniors in Philadelphia, particularly in the aftermath of gun violence?
So with the scholarship, we have our inaugural program where we provide 2 $1,000 scholarships to Philadelphia students. We just expanded to the full state of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
We're going to try to expand to South Jersey because there are some pockets there that they need the help as well. But we also have other key programs where we provide scholarship workshops to parents of low-income students. And then we also attend anti-violence events. So I'm at the annual MLK event. It's just a ton of things that we're doing for the community. community.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a great way to help improve and impact your own community. In what ways do you hope your foundation and its initiatives contribute to reshaping the narrative of Philadelphia, moving beyond its association with crime and violence? Like you say, when people think of Philly, they think of, ooh,
Right.
crime and violence. And
Right.
we know that there's more there going on, and you are a positive constituent in that area.
I think the biggest thing is shining a light on them to let them know that your potential is actually boundless. And not to mention, it's about narrowing that gap. Like, it's the one thing I do talk about in the book is that African-American students graduate at 50% less than those of other races. So for me, I'm not going to stop until I continue to highlight every last one of those.
I love it. You look like you are committed.
Yes.
Loving it,
Yes.
loving it. So beyond financial support, how does the Craig D. Butler Scholarship Foundation foster a sense of community and empowerment among its recipients?
So the one thing we started doing this year at the MLK event is really providing community service events for some of the scholars, and also just if you want to just help out, if you want some community service hours, if you want to come and participate, if you want to help, that's always a really big thing. But I think the biggest thing is just being seen. Like, there's so many times they'll come up to me after a workshop or just pointing them in the right direction. So it's really just about giving them that information and just letting them know that I'm here. Call me, text me. I'm going to be up because I can't sleep.
Right,
anyway.
I care about you. I'm not going to bed.
Call me, I'm here.
I love it. That's so awesome. So beyond financial support, could you speak to any notable success stories or transformative moments that have emerged from the work or your foundation, highlighting the impact it has had on individual lives and the broader community?
I'll say anytime, so once our scholarship year is over, we receive testimonials. And anytime our students or our parents, they will physically call me and say, you don't understand the amount of for spine that you gave to my kids to want to apply more, to remove that level of hopelessness. Like, they won't even seek the scholarship out because they feel hopeless. And so getting those phone calls and receiving their grades is enough to say, thank you for investing in me. Like, so it's literally, I'm crying, like, these are my babies. Like, that's just how I, think of them. And so knowing the impact that it's making on their lives, it's undescribable.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's extremely fulfilling. So it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us. To our audience, y'all, before we fade to black, the spotlight must come out. Y'all, so please welcome into the spotlight, Mr. Keith Edward Sawell.
All right, y'all, wherever you are, I want you to stomp, clap, snap when something in this poem resonates with you, for I believe these are healing hands. We grow up thinking to succeed, we must engineer doctoring lawyers, judge a life by how many degrees its harvest yields, christen careers as the cash crop, and prune passion that fruits musician, acting, authors. An aggravated culture. Any agriculture that doesn't stem from STEM is stemmed at the root, for it is seen as extracurricular. See, curriculum says your why is important, for no matter how, who does what, or where they do it, when all else fails, it is your why that will keep you going. Mine was always to help people. So when my grandma prophesied that these were healing hands, our inclination was medicine. Now, I got people asking me about why I'm not a doctor yet, like doctor ain't more than a title or a noun, it's a verb, an action, one that I've already opened a practice in. No insurance required. Got people inquiring about when these gap years will be over. I say they never started. Told me to hit the book, so I wrote one. Call it telemedicine. I tell medicine, and it pencils in penicillin and welds wounds unseen. This pen be sharper than any scalpel could ever match. Found my residency in open mics. We perform open heart surgery and discharge the same day. In the morning, may this paint be the first aid by the bedside in a premature night. May it be the first aid applied. These hands be the AED to yesterday's DOA. They write eulogies into testimonies and call them poetry. I speak as the first patient. When I was hanging by a thread, my demons shadowed me like it was their job. I learned that no amount of job shadowing can revive a gallow. Judgmental fundamentals bellow. They remind this fellow that medical will leave me in debt, yet quicken me to get casket ready. But I've seen poetry pull me from death, of course. It wasn't in a course, but a rehearsal where I learned to nurse my hearse back to life, a full 180 degrees. I decree it's only one letter from the MC to the MD. And if the C and D are adjacent in the library, then medicine will be to my right when I'm ready to take it off the shelf. See, my grandma taught me right, so now I write. She taught me that in the beginning was the word. So when I'm asked what these words gonna do, I'll say begin. What money can't comprehend, I'll seize what prestige can't pretend to be. Because the healing doesn't start at the reception desk. Nah, it starts with these healing hands. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Y'all give it up for Mr. Keith Edward Sowell. Thank you so very much. That was so powerful. These healing hands.
These healing hands.
Beautiful. Where can we find you?
On social medias, at every single one of them, Keith Edward Sowell, and then on my website, kesowell.com.
Thank you so much. Well, it's time for us to go to our viewers. Thank y'all so much for joining us for the culture. Chris!
We out of here. Everybody at home, come on.
baby.
Here we go. Here we go. Just scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen. Because we've got so much more exclusive content for y'all right here, only on the Sisandra Show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with us, spending some time with us on the beautiful Camarosa set and all of our beautiful guests. So until next time, stay beautiful, be good to one another, and tune in again